Hey, it's Ben with Unique Advantage. Today I'm going to talk about a common myth that's put out by the financial institutions, Wall Street, and even some financial gurus out there. And it has to do with average rates of return. Um, First, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel if you want to keep getting more of these videos and see my content. Appreciate it. But yeah, we'll jump into it. So a big thing that the institutions and Wall Street promote are the average rates of return that they say that they can get in different mutual funds, things like that. And if you own mutual funds, if you have them in your retirement account, you can even look those up, Vanguard or Fidelity, and see what that fund has averaged over a certain period of time. And the problem with that is averages don't always equal the actual returns that the investments are getting. So, I've heard a lot of gurus say, the market gets 8 to 10% on average every single year. I've even heard some people say it as high as 12% on average every year. And there's a little bit of truth to it because on average, the S&P 500 has done close to 10% over the years, but they leave out a few key points in there. And the fact is, you can get a positive average rate of return and still lose money. We'll show an example here. Let's say that you started off with a $100 investment, and in the first year, you received a 100% positive return in that first year. So now your new balance is $200. That's awesome, right? Like that sounds really good. An investment that did that would be awesome. So then let's say in year two, now you have $200 in the account and you take a 60% loss. Okay, that hurts. The 60% loss takes you down to $80 in the account. So now you've got a balance of $80. Well, to find the average rate of return on that, we take the 100% plus the negative 60% return that we took in year two, and you get 40%. And then to get the average of those 2 years, you just divide that by 2 and you get 20%. So you got an average rate of return of 20%, yet your account balance is $80, which is less than what you started with. So the averages can be very misleading. And I just want to show what has the S&P 500 actually done over the last 24 years. The last 24 years, we've seen a lot of craziness in the stock market. You had the early tech bubble right at the beginning of the 2000s. You had the financial crisis of 2008, and then right after that was the longest bull run in market history. So it's a pretty good time to judge and see what has the S&P 500 actually done. So the S&P 500, for anyone who doesn't know, is the 500 largest companies in America. So this would have Apple, Google, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, all the big ones would be included in that S&P 500. So here I have a chart. This is just on Yahoo Finance. You can jump on there and find it. We're just looking at from January of 2000 to January of 2024. And so you can see, you got some downs, some downs here in the 2008 financial crisis, and then this is that long bull run we had up until recently, and then it's bouncing back again. So to find what the S&P 500 has actually done, we need to look at, what did it start at? So in January of 2000, it hit the high of 1444.55, and then at the end of January of this year, got very, very close to 5,000, 48.45. So to find the actual rate of return, we need a calculator to make that happen. So we just take a compound interest calculator. We'll put in the present value, the 1455, where it started, and then 48.45 where it ended up. We're not going to put annual payments in there. We're just looking at the S&P 500, what it did. And then over 24 years, what has it actually done? And here you can see the actual return of the S&P 500 over the last 24 years, 5.14%. So while it may have averaged 8 or 10%, the actual returns in the S&P 500 were just barely over 5%. So nowhere near what someone would expect to have in an account that was invested in the S&P 500. So just want to make people aware of this. When you see people advertising, especially Wall Street and the institutions advertising average rates of return, they can look good on paper, but on paper doesn't matter as much as how much money is actually in the account and what you can use, what you can spend. So if you have questions on this or want to know more about this, shoot me a message. Let me know how I can help. And yeah, make sure you like and subscribe to get more videos like this, and I'll share more content. All right, thanks.